So in 1962, there was a war between India and China. That war actually never completed. Chinese army decided unilaterally to walk away. In fact, they left some of the areas which they capture, and there's no explanation given. But we're not here to discuss about what happened in the war, but we are discussing what kind of weapons Indians were using and what kind of weapons Chinese were using. That is why India, I hate to say, got defeated. At that time, Chinese army was using this gun. This particular gun, each and every Chinese soldier were carrying. Even today's standard, you can call it an assault rifle, although it's not categorized as assault rifle because it has a fixed magazine. It takes only 10 rounds. But that was enough at that time. And don't take this gun lightly, because this is a predecessor of AK-47. If you look at the front part, this exactly looks like AK-47. Difference is AK-47 is fully automatic, this one is semi-auto. But this is sometimes faster than AK-47. The loading for this is faster than AK-47. AK-47 has a magazine. You have to fill the magazine for 30 rounds. But by the time you're filling up the magazine, you can dump 3 clips in here. It's a clip loader. And then it shoots faster than that. The range is about 400 yards. A lot of range. And the cartridge it uses, 7.62-39. This is the same cartridge is being used in AK-47 even today. Even today, they were using them against the Indian Army. There's no shortage of the courage from the Indian Army side. The bravery was unbelievable. But what they were using then, that's what made them lose that war. This gun. This is a bolt action rifle which takes 1 round at one time. 1 round at one time. This one, by the time you reload this one, you can shoot 10 rounds out of it. Hey, you cannot win any war without a proper weaponry. Plain and simple. This is not the exactly same gun. This is the closest I could find in the United States. This particular gun is chambered in 30-06, which is very similar to 303, British 303. And that's exactly what Indians were using. And don't get that 303 or 30-06 cartridge wrong. The cartridge is really good even today. Even today, they use in big game hunting. Even today, this cartridge is being used in many sniper operations. Do the comparison. Which is better? Of course, this is better, but not better to fight a war. This is what you need at that time. This is 55 grain. This is 175 grain. You do the math. What can do maximum damage? But the kind of war they were doing at that time, this is not the answer one by one. If you could do a burst with it, nothing like it. But they didn't have anything. They didn't have the modern weapons. India was using Second World War guns. That wasn't enough at that time. It was army who asked the governments to give them modern weapon, make them equipped every time. It was a failure on part of those generals who couldn't do that. And moreover, it was a failure on the part of those generals who are saying that we never expect that China will ever attack us. How the heck you think? You should you should know what's going on around you. It was a Korean War. Korean War was fought by China. It wasn't Chinese war. That was Russian war. And Russia are the one who give them all these guns to fight their war. They're the one who outsource that war. So Russia has to give them the weapons and the technology. That's where they got the technology. This making this one, and also end up making their first nuclear weapon from Russia to China. And Russia is our ally when we're non-aligned, but we're non-aligned with Russia. Simple thing. They never tell you anything about that. All right. So the bottom of the story is you cannot win any war without equipping yourself. Those generals who were thinking that China never attacked us, they never learned anything from British. British, they never fight or they never start anything unprepared. They prepared first. They want to make sure that they'll win. This is how they execute. The Indians were sitting there. They know what's going on in the border. They shoot at the army so many times because they were crossing over all the time. And in the end, they come with a large number because they have the weapons and all that. I hope Indians learn anything from that episode, like United States learned. In Vietnam War, same thing happened with them. The Chinese army or Vietnamese army basically was, they were given everything by Chinese, were fighting with AK-47, and Americans were fighting with M1 Garand. There is clearly no comparison, and they get it, and they developed this M14. So this is not M14. This is a civilian version of that. It's called AR-15. That's the darling of America right now. Beautiful gun, lighter, even lighter than this, even lighter than AK-47, and the round is even lighter than 7.62-39. It takes NATO 5.56 or Remington 223. Both, they do a good job. It goes about 600 yards and very light, hardly have any recoil. Each of the army guy carrying this. When it comes to India, I never heard so far any cartridge they manufacture. I don't hear anything like Indian brand. This is 30R6. This is American. They manufacture this one in 1903. 7.62-39, Red Army. Which one is Indians? Indians are using these even today. 7.62-39. Where are Indian cartridges? Where are Indian guns? I heard that they are building now with some collaboration, but why not on your own? You're buying the guns from Europe, right? You yourself say that those are small countries. France is a small country. You're buying the weapons and technology from a small country. You're buying the weapons from Israel. Israel literally born after you. In fact, they born right in front of you. You're buying weapons and technology from them. Why? What is the reason you can do that? There's no shortage of the brain there. You all know that the IT world literally is Indians. There's no shortage there. The shortage is law and order, corruption, and overusing of the power, misuse of the power. There is a shortage. Otherwise, you know what we can do. Human being is something. If human being thinks something, it can be achieved. You guys can do it. I hope Indian Army has better weaponry today. I really hope that. We don't know it. We just see it, whatever we can see from that distance, but really hoping well for them. Remember, equipped yourself. There is no peace without it. You don't have to be bully, you don't have to be aggressive, but you have to be ready and willing. Ready and willing will maintain the peace. Thank you.